Stream time again. Two. Finding Go Day. Episode 3. 21 Pilots. That is the thing. Catnip wanted to be here today, but right now has a side quest that requires attention. So, yeah. Godspeed, Catnip. Godspeed. But that's okay. She might show up later, though. She might show up later. And in order to actually, honestly, I feel like Lumo will probably be in when Catnip's here, regardless. But anyway, I asked Lumo to act as, I don't know. The first thing I thought of was Jamie, JRE. I said, act as a Jamie slash regular guest for my stream. I sent it my stream notes that I have for today. And so, yeah. We have Lumo over here, pretty much, which is going to be the regular JRE type sidekick love. All right, and now let's go to our opener. Wait, where is it? Where is it? Oh, here. Oh, haha, very good overview. Oh, wait, first let's state what happened last episode. Statement of why I'm here in the first place. And hold on, let's go down really fast. Let me get out this first part. Pretty much the Nicholas Bourbaki thing. I don't really hear that being talked about very often. We're going to try and we're going to be talking a lot about just 20 Pilots lore. Y'all get on the same page. I was going to name this episode Introduction Part 3, but for some reason I decided not to do that at some point. Anyway, this paragraph isn't entirely valid though, because on the second Pilots video I was watching on which I recommend if you like any of this and you like 20, watch that, because that's where I'm getting. Put a link in the description if I remember. Right now, it's not really important. It'll only become important if we start getting viewers. Then it'll. Ideally, I would do it regardless, but I'm a human, flesh and blood. What do you want? I don't even know if this mic is close enough to me. I really hope my sound is okay. Oh wait, and so get rid of this pre-stream checklist right here. So, but yeah, no. Nicholas Bourbaki. I guess we'll talk about that because doesn't seem to be talked about that much on the internet, but I haven't looked into it. There's definitely got to be a forum somewhere where it's been talked to death. But whatever. Trying to be somewhat original. This is not original. None of this is my stuff. All right, I'm just whatever. I need an excuse to motivate my brain to create content that isn't about nothing. Very good. And this concept of nothing, ironically, I didn't realize it when I wrote that down, but it comes up again with the Nicholas Bourbaki. I love it. Hold on. Did it. Very good. Slash MT set. Damn it. Invalid equation. Hold on, everybody. I didn't include the T. Sometimes this glitches out. Hold on. Slash M. I need to do it with both. Slash. Fuck. Hold on. Excuse me. Just on Renzo. Get it together. Empty set. There we go. My goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right. There we go. Empty set. Apparently, spoiler alert, that was popularized, that convention. I think the first time I was introduced to that symbol, junior year. Took a coding and information theory class. But actually, that comes up everywhere. You know, I use that a lot. You use it in discrete math probability. Definitely, definitely. But anyway, the Nicholas Bourbaki French people. Apparently, according to the second 21 Pilots video that I'm still in the process of watching, that's longer than the first one. Uh, and the first video I watched is this by Bandito Ugly Rat. 11 minutes long. But yes, I would just play this in the background, but I guess that's not really good for copyright shit. But anyway, go watch that. Plus, you know, go support other streamers and stuff. Go watch that. If anybody cares or is curious, I'll put a link in the description or in the Discord somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know. Anyway. Hook. Take-home messages. One of the best things about science is learning the story behind the discovery of something. Scientists are quite the characters. And then we're going to have a quote, Tyrion Lannister, I guess technically George R. R. Martin, or whoever wrote, because it's actually from the show. So I guess whoever wrote it. No, it's later episode, but not all of the late episodes not all of it is bad. It's just not nearly as good as the first few seasons. There's nothing more powerful in the world than a good story. That was my main point. And we're going to discuss the story behind 21 Pilots. Not behind 21 Pilots, but the story that Tyler and Josh, their story that they wrote or made, or you know what I mean. Created. And the promise, what the viewers will get. Get to feel good about yourself for supporting A. B, we're going to talk about 21 Pilots lore, if you haven't already figured that out. And connect lore to science and stories. And you know what? Honestly, we're probably not going to get through all the lore tonight. We'll probably have a part 2 lore. In fact, we most certainly will, because I've already started making notes for episode 4. And it's pretty much just notes on what I'm watching in the longer 21 Pilots video. So we're gonna have at least 2 episodes where we discuss 21 Pilots lore, and that's just gonna be the focus. All right. Let's also see what Lumo came up with. I literally just thought to pull up Lumo right before I started streaming, so I have no idea what it has in store for us. If anything good. I don't know. Might all suck. Host, that's me. Welcome back to Finding Nico Wednesday. I'm Renzo, and sitting behind me is our resident JRE veteran, Lumo. But that's not true, but whatever. It's really, really hooked on this, like, Jamie thing when I told it to be like Jamie from JRE. All I meant by that was just, like, kind of fact check shit, even though it is the AI, and that's bad practice. So, but it wasn't just that. Also to have someone just bounce ideas off of, in case I get, you know, my brain goes to poop. But anyway, in this conversation anyway, Lumo, the AI I'm using, is really, really stuck on that. So, whatever. Hey, Lumo, why does every time we talk about 21 Pilots, I feel like I'm about to open a secret door? Lumo with a grin. Because a band built a whole world behind the music, walls, bishops, a rebel called Clancy, and a mysterious Nico. It's like a sci-fi novel wrapped in a pop song. And tonight we're going, or pop songs rather, and tonight we're going to crack the code together. I suppose. Buckle up. The first clue is right in the opening of Heavy Dirty Soul. Quick visual. Flash the hook slide from your OBS overlay. Oh yeah, we're supposed to play this as a slide. I remembered. Gosh dang it. Thank you for your patience, everyone. So this is the visual for the night. There we go. So we've already stated all that. It's pretty good, right? All right. Oh, and Luma says, and we'll, no, promise. Very good. Let's finish the promise really fast. Stick around and you'll walk away with 3 takeaways. A clear map of the 21 pilots' lore timeline from Blurry Face 2015 and upcoming Breach 2025. 2, how the story mirrors mental health cycles, the very thing the band calls Clancy. 3, a handful of Easter egg hunting tips you can use on the next video or merch drop. And then Lumos says, and we'll sprinkle in a few jokes that would even make Joe Rogan raise an eyebrow. All right. 21 pilots, lore, Blurry Face. So here are my notes. And I have individuals of significance highlighted in red. And I apologize for this. It's just bad decision making. I decided to make, well, I always highlight words in not yellow, orange. It's just kind of like what I do. Anyway, all the keywords are in the orange gradient, but the orange gradient and the red gradient look very similar. See, I can't even tell the difference. We could just go. I just like the red gradient so much for this particular topic, so I decided to stick with it against better judgment, essentially. But it's not that important. Hey, Polly, PPP. Here, my friend, here. Polly came just in time. Did you hear any of the intro? A little bit distracted. Future me, if you're watching this and editing this, excellent. Please keep editing it. Don't do it. Do it for your own sanity. Yeah, I'm trying to stay somewhat focused on these because they're my Finding Nico wins starting to, and I want it to maybe be a little bit better than my just kind of like sitting around poo-brained derping on the internet streams, which are great. Of course I'm not going to stop doing that, but oh no, I'm depressed and I need something to like keep my spirits up. So this is what I've done for myself. Excuse me. I'm shouldn't. Excuse me. All right. But anyway, this is my favorite band, 21 Pilots. And we're just going to go over their lore. They created this like story, and it's a theme in a lot of their songs. Okay. So, I have to remember to keep the mic right up to my mouth.
Hells yeah, GTSY.
Oh yeah. Very good. Okay. Sorry. Do I want to keep the chat up or not? Or not text to speech? We will do it. We'll do it. We're going to keep it up. Normally, I'm not going to have the chat and text to speech up. But I'm going to allow it for tonight. Especially since Catnip's not here yet. Subscriber experience depends on other individuals. If it's just Renzo, then it just gets agreed. Anyway. Where were we? Let's read my overview. What's the slide really fast? How many slides do we even have? Oh, only 3? We only have 3 slides? No, we have 5 songs. Very good. All right. Well, you know what? Let's read what Luma has for us.
There is a delay with chat to speech.
Oh, yeah, there's always gonna be delay with that. Yeah. Um, I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Probably is, but I'll have, there's probably something that you can pay for. But anyway, so World Edema, approximately 2 minutes. Let's see what they have for us. All right. So, say something. Oh, yes. Lumo's notes are based on a PDF of my notes that I fed it. All right, now I'm going to go on. Dima is an oppressive city with high walls ruled by 9 bishops and constant surveillance. And you know what? I didn't realize it at the time, but in episode 2, me and Catnip were talking about 1984 and the constant surveillance there. So that's fun. Um, quick Lumo spin. Think of Dima as the Gotham of the music video universe, except the villains wear robes and the police are bishops. Clancy. Clancy is Tyler. The band has 2 individuals in it. Tyler and Josh. And I've high-fived Josh Dunn before. So, yeah. Pretty exciting stuff. I wanted to say I need to stop being so obnoxious about that. It's still fresh, you know. Um, Tyler's character, excuse me. Need to remember not to cough in the mic. A well-known citizen of Dima. He can seize bodies. Title, not a name. Okay, so, and I guess this is important. This concept of it being a title, not a name. However, we want to be careful about what the chatbot says. But I guess I feel like I've heard that in a video or something before. So, I want to remember that. I guess for some reason my brain didn't like that.
Good band.
Good band. You mean 21 Pilots? Oh, they're my favorite for a reason. But seizing. Let's say what seizing are really fast. Seizing is something that the bishops. Let me go through my notes. My notes might be better. Clancy, Tyler's character, well-known citizen of Dima. But also we have the AI over here mentioning that. Imagine, no, Clancy. Clancy is the Batman of the story. Only his cape is a mental health metaphor, and his bat signal is a song. Very good. And then we have Torchbearer, Josh. Leader of the Banditos can physically guide people without being there. Imagine a GPS that works even when you're offline. He's the human compass for the rebels. And then we have the bishops. Oh, and over here I have Tyler's characters, Clancy, well-known citizen of Dima. We have Torchbearer, Josh's character, leader of Banditos, can physically guide people without being there. Dima, oppressive city surrounded by high walls, ruled by 9 bishops, who, who, I don't know. Or they force citizens to live under constant surveillance and fear. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but they also enforce a religion called vialism that teaches that the only way to paradise is by taking one's own life. But we'll get back to that. So we have Nico Blurryface. He is the leader of the 9 bishops. He is the bad guy. No good seems to come from this guy. I still have yet to hear any interpretation. Guys, really got any positive attributes. He mocks Clancy as the few, the proud, and the emotional. Excuse me. Aside, French mathematicians of Nicholas Bourbaki. Oh, and Polly, I don't know if you were here for this, but it seems as if this Nico character is named after a group of French mathematicians who keeps its membership somewhat secret, and they exist to this day, uh, probably have something to do with their secret intelligence. But I digress. Um, they name themselves Nicholas Bourbaki, and we talked about that in the last episode. I won't get too distracted. But actually, no. The whole entire Finding Nico Wednesday things is going to be coming back to that because it's actually that's a big part of why I'm. Anyway, well, actually, one last thing though. See, what makes me feel compelled to stream about this? Um, the Nicholas Bourbaki reference, pretty much. That was when I was finally like, all right, that's enough. Enough is enough. I am going to think about this and put time and energy into it. I was very hesitant to. I don't want to ruin my favorite band for my. Um, but you know what we still have to do, for example? They have a the fuck? Um oh, close. Hold on. They have a website, and do not go to themaorg.info/found. Make sure you include the numbers, the underscore, and the 14 and Clancy.html. Otherwise, you will be taken to a site that probably has viruses. So, yeah, be careful about that. Doesn't support connection with HTTP. Well, you know what? We're not going to worry too much about this. Pretty much, I'll try and remember to find the correct link. I don't want to give myself a virus while I'm streaming. That's just embarrassing. Anyway. But yeah, that's all them. So let's get back here. Bishops. Blurry face. Let's go over here. What does Lumo say? Bad guy mocks Clancy, represents inner critic. And then we have Nico's inner voice that tells you can't, while Clancy tries to prove it wrong. Ugh, man, ain't that the truth? All right, so then we have Peons, which is a bishop in charge of a region in Dema. No, the region in Dema that Clancy is from. He's like the governor, I guess you could say. Except there's only 9 governors. He's known for, was it dedication? I guess it's dedication. And he's the only nice bishop. Peons means gift of God in Hebrew in Hawaiian. I went and I looked this up. Ancient or enduring in Irish/Gaelic. Strong to construct or foundation in Korean. I thought that was interesting. And what does it say about Keons? Keons is the good guy bishop, like the friendly neighborhood priest who secretly helps the hero. There we go. All right. So, other 7. Andre Lisden, Rizedro, Sakarver, Nils, Momo, Listo. And next episode, we're actually going to look more in all of that. Very good. And then, so the religion. Okay. The religion called Vialism. And that is a religion that teaches that the only way to paradise is by taking one's own life. I think I wrote that straight from the video that I was watching when I took these notes. So I quote that video. Anyway, the glorious gone. Those are people who have fallen victim to vialism. So those are pretty much the people who have killed themselves, because that's what you do when you follow vialism. Those are the vialists who have followed through with the whatever. And then we have seizing. Bishops control the dead bodies of the glorious gone. For some reason, Clancy has the ability to seize, and he uses it to control Keon's bishop's corpse after the other 8 kill Keon. That happens in the beginning of the Outside music video. And I guess the 8 bishops figured out Keon's was helping Clancy. So, yeah. And I guess I just not really. Maybe Clancy at Tyler. Perhaps Nico is another. I like that. All right. Anyway, French. That is the continent where Dima is located. Again, Dima is the city where it's the Gotham City version, or metaphorically for this particular universe. Religion, nihilism, belief that paradise is reached by suicide. That gives me a chill down my spine just reading. Glorious gone or victim. A dark philosophy, the brand flips on its head, showing that self-destruction isn't the answer. And we have that doesn't even make sense. Like, even from just a purely just nihilistic perspective. French. Continent where Dima sits. Outside region where banditos live. The outside world, the safe zone you reach after breaking through the walls. We have Boldsoy Island and Neds. Populated by Neds, which are like little furry little hey Neds. What do I have to say about Neds? They live on Boldsoy, which is an island off the shore of Trench. And I guess that's where Tyler is in the outside. And I have a question mark for myself. What is a Ned? What does the Ned represent? I don't know. That's a question. Antlers can grow and shed off. Clancy can use shedded. I misspelled shedded or shredded. Should I have shed shredded? Anyway, he can use the antlers that they shed to seize, which again is taking over a body of a glorious gone. I'm gonna go hit victim. Crash, an ancient sea dragon seized by Keons to help Clancy et al. Escape in the music video Saturday. Pretty much watched the music video Saturday, and the dragon trash is in there. Or the sea dragon. You know, I have a memory of seeing a dragon once. I'm pretty sure it's real. But we don't need to talk about that right now. Polly knows what I'm talking about. Polly's still here. By the way, if anybody's watching, thank you for a fly. Sequence of song. Oh, well, I don't really need to go over all this right now. Cycle of Clancy and Nico's. This was just kind of the take-home message of the video that I watched. That I got these notes, or most of them anyway, originally from. Whoops. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and at least drop a link to that in chat. And let's see here. Is Clancy Nico, or are they somehow connected? I think we kind of answered that first. E.g. Harry Potter and Voldemort. No, I think it's supposed to be more like a state thing, maybe. Because especially after watching Their most recent post to conclude this story. Clancy is not a name, it's a title. Oh, I knew I saw that somewhere. Okay, so I did write it down. Very good, Renzo. Very good. Representation of mental health and overcoming fears and anxieties, which I feel like I'm doing right now. It's all very appropriate. As is tradition with psychology and neuroscience, mental health is a cycle that improves every day. Well, with the right attitude. Add that with the right attitude. Assuming that nothing horribly traumatic happens to you. Because that can happen today. Or somebody dies or you die or God forbid, all the most all the terrible things that can happen. A limb gets cut off. No, But anyway, assuming that nothing terrible happens. What makes me feel compelled to stream about this? And I've already kind of said most of this. Again, I heard something about the Nicholas Bourbaki reference in the second video I am watching right now. And taking notes on that for episode 4. How long have I been going? 31 minutes. Perfect. I'm sure there's a discussion about it somewhere. There is. However, I can't help but attempt to add something to the discussion myself rather than just passively lurking on the 21 Pilots Reddit page. Which honestly, reading the 21 Pilots Reddit page, I get like adrenaline. And oftentimes I'm reading Reddit when I'm trying. Maybe I'll be able to. Maybe my body had something. Go on Reddit. I'm not trying. Plus, I need to get my brain. Very good, Pat. All right. Well, that wraps up this episode. Well done, everybody. We can make a song by song. Bye, everybody. Take care. Be safe and